Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new edition of our online interview series. Today, we want to get an update from Consolidated Uranium, and Phil Williams, the CEO, is here with us. Hey, good morning to Canada. How are you doing?
I'm well, Jochen. How are you doing?
Perfect. Thanks. All fine, despite it restarted to snow in Switzerland. Jesus. We need some more warm weather, definitely. Anyhow, uranium looks like it's getting hotter and hotter even. It's not only a shiny metal, I would call it, but it's really the metal of desire for e-mobility and to power the future, I would call it. So Consolidated Uranium was a little bit of while we have spoken about, but you guys have been very, very active. Also, we had several viewers asking us, hey, how is it going with Labrador Uranium just spin out? So maybe we should start with that, because I saw in your news release 3rd February, meaning this week, there is the voting for it, right?
That's right. That's right. So this Thursday is the consolidated shareholder meeting to approve the spin-out transaction. Mm-hmm. Of course, we're very confident in the result from that vote. And then we'll have more information to the market next week about the timing of the listing, but we expect that to be before the end of February.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be quite fast. So what would it mean for the Consolidated Uranium shareholder? They will get free shares, right? And you would put in all your assets in Newfoundland into that, right?
Yeah. So shareholders of Consolidated Uranium on the effective date, which again we'll announce the exact date next week, will get their pro rata distribution of LUR shares that CUR owns. So that 16 million Labrador shares will be distributed out to CUR shareholders. Mm-hmm. And then in terms of the assets that are going into the company, so Consolidated is putting our Moran Lake project into the company, which is a historic uranium and vanadium resource. The project had over $25 million spent on it in the past. But more than that, Jochen, we've added projects from Altius and Mega Uranium, and basically consolidated virtually all of that camp, the Central Mineral Belt of Labrador, which is highly prospective for both uranium, copper, and gold.
Mm-hmm. Okay, super. So let's put it that way. This would be like the Canadian part, if I would call it. And in between, you guys raised over $20 million in a bought deal. So what do you gonna do with the money 2022? And what's going on in your US portfolio?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. So we did raise that money last year. We're now very well funded with over $30 million in the bank. And really this year, Jochen, is kind of a pivot in the business from pure consolidation. So over the last 2 years, and as you well know, we've been very aggressive on the acquisition front. We've acquired 13 properties in 4 jurisdictions around the world. And looking forward, we're going to continue to do consolidation, and we see lots of opportunity to roll up other assets into the portfolio. But it's really now about focusing on developing the assets within the portfolio, and that focus is squarely on the portfolio of projects that we acquired from Energy Fuels in the US.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so that means that you restart exploration then this year?
Correct. So very soon we're going to announce those plans to the market in more detail. But I can tell you that our first and foremost plan is to get drills turning on the 3 main projects that we've acquired, past producing mines, of course, the Rim mine, the Dineros mine, and the Tony M mine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, super. So as those are already mines, would that be then, let's say, the longer term game plan to restart a production scenario?
Absolutely. And so part of what we're doing with this drill program is we'll be confirming some of those historic resources and looking to bring some of them into current 43101 standard. But also we're looking at expanding the footprint of those resources if they do, and we believe there's very good reason to think that they will. So testing extensions, so we know exactly what the nature of the ore body is prior to going into mine. And at the same time, we're going to be doing some work on the project to get it production ready. And really because these projects are past producing mines, fully permitted and be turned on very quickly, we want to get them as production ready as possible for when the uranium price spikes and it's time to turn them on.
And that's the master question. When do you think it starts to spike?
Look, I think it's this year for sure.
Okay.
We're firmly in the camp that the current price does not support existing production, let alone the new production required to meet demand. And so prices need to go higher. How high they go and how quickly they go is sort of anyone's bet. But I'm certainly optimistic that this year we're going to see a continued strong performance in the uranium price. and potentially making some very strong gains, particularly as some of the financial players that we've seen enter the market last year continue to be aggressive buying spot material in the market.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, and I think also, as I saw even in the German financial magazine last week, where they put up all those mines which are still in production and what's going on, let's say, in the world, it is really crazy. We are still missing at least 25% is the gap of supply demand, right?
Oh, for sure. And it's like a coiled spring, and this has happened in the uranium space in the past when underinvestment in exploration development or mines going offline because of price, the longer that stays in that circumstance, the harder prices and the faster prices tend to move on the other side. And we're coming out of this bear market post Fukushima where capital just has not been available for developing new mines, exploring for new resources. And so it's just been, there's this pent up situation on the supply side that it just won't be able to respond quickly enough for the demand that we see coming in the near future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so but that was also one of the reasons maybe that you are partnering here with Energy Fuels?
No, absolutely. And Energy Fuels is a leading U.S. Uranium miner and a great partner. And so we understood that they really know the lay of the land in terms of where mining can happen, and particularly in this part of the U.S., Utah and Colorado, these are proven uranium mining jurisdictions, and we're buying past-producing mines, again, that can be rapidly turned on when prices move.
Mm-hmm. That's also a question I wanted to pose to you in conjunction that you have enlarged your team, I would say, fairly well here with great experts, with new geologists, and also I would say specialists for production scenario. So how fast do you think you can react on really rising prices for uranium? Because I could imagine there are permitting times, there are development times, and I mean, it's not like that you do it like this. We have a new uranium mine producing.
No, correct. And let me just start by talking about the team just quickly. I mean, we did hire Marty Tunney. He's the president and COO now of the company, and his background is permitting and developing mines within North America. So his real focus is on the project level side. And also on the board side, we added Mark Chalmers, the CEO of Energy Fuels, a 40-year mining engineer, predominantly in uranium on a global basis, and has been a great addition technically. In terms of how fast these mines can come on, we think this is a 6 to 12-month exercise from when we push the button, which is remarkably fast. And you're entirely right. Mines cannot turn on that fast generally, but because when these mines were turned off production, and we're going back to 2008, 2009, and 2013, Energy Fuels did a very good job keeping the permits in good standing. So those permits are in place to turn back on. And because the mines were fully developed, what's great about this situation for us is there's not a tremendous amount of capital that has to go into these mines. They're ready to go, and really it's just about hiring contract miners to go in, open the portals, and subject to the state of the underground, maybe some cleanup work has to be done, but we could be on in the ore zone very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fantastic. So contract miners, that's also a keyword. So that means you only need a modest amount of capex to really get those mines reopened, I understand. And could you do it already with the money you still have in the bank, or is there more money needed?
No, absolutely. We're fully funded to turn these mines on if and when we decide to.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that sounds like a really good game plan. Fantastic, super. So where do you see, let's say, your biggest challenge or hurdle this year for your business?
I mean, I think that the challenges are going to be market related and just weathering the volatility in the space. But I mean, that doesn't really impact how we run our business. We're funded, we have the team in place, we have a plan in place, and we'll take the market as it comes. We're going to continue to execute our strategy. And I don't see challenges, Jochen. I see opportunities. And where there might be weakness in the market, for us, that's an opportunity to go roll up some additional assets where counterparties might be feeling a little bit weaker and might want to be part of a bigger, stronger story that we are with our capital position and, of course, our access to capital through the very strong institutional support that we have in the business.
Fantastic. Institutional support is also something I wanted to ask you. Who are your largest shareholders? Who is supporting you?
Sure. So Energy Fuels is our largest shareholder. As part of that transaction, they took a 19.9% 10% stake in the company. And then behind that, we've got declared shareholders of Sachem Cove, which is a very well-known uranium fund. Mega Uranium is a big shareholder of us. And then behind that, there's probably about 20 different institutional investors that are in the story that have participated in the multiple financings that we've done in the last few years. And it's the who's who of the uranium investment industry. The people that have really been ahead of the game investing in uranium, really know the projects and the people very, very well, and have backed us again repeatedly over the last couple of years as we've raised capital.
Fantastic, and also I'm a shareholder too. I should say that for disclaimer reasons.
I'm a shareholder as well.
Absolutely.
In fact, I bought stock in the market on Friday.
Very good. Like to hear that. That's fantastic. What is the total management share in the company, approximately?
We own about 4% of the company, management and insiders.
Yeah, and you paid for it.
I've bought every share. I've participated in multiple rounds of financings, and I'm very happy and committed to enhancing value for all shareholders, including myself.
Super. That's exactly how it should be. So you might be the next uranium production story, I would call it, right?
Listen, it's possible, and we're certainly working towards that, and we want to be ready to produce when the price goes to the level that we think justifies bringing our ore out of the ground.
Super, perfect. Hey, good luck with that. I have a good feeling that we talk very soon. Thanks for the interview. All the best, and please keep us posted.
Thanks, Joachim. Look forward to speaking soon.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Phil Williams, the CEO of Consolidated Uranium. You heard it. Yeah, not a brand new, but a newer story here to the uranium space, but consolidating one on the one hand in Canada, but also in the US with Energy Fuels as the anchor shareholder with 19.9%. And they have enough money to really get things moving, meaning to really bring the old uranium mines they're owning into production back again. I think that's a fantastic game plan, because we are extremely positive on uranium, and we see prices, as Phil said, also this year already moving much higher, because this world, if you want to go emission free in power generation, you definitely need uranium as a baseload and as a security and insurance, of course, that everything is working. So check out Consolidated Uranium, fantastic company, great quality. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.